Hello everybody, Daniel here, and welcome once again to Showdown Sunday, the Monday edition this time, because I'm behind on everything because college is destroying my life right now. It's fantastic, but oh god, everything's all over the place right now. I will try and get back on schedule at some point. Until then, everything's just all over the place. They're looking at a very special team for me today though. This is without doubt my signature team, what I would call it. It's something I created best part of a year ago, and I've always just kind of used and loved. But I got a personal touch to it as well, because all the names on this team are from characters that I kind of write about. Temportal Team is the name of it. Again, that comes from writing. It's stuff that I'll probably explain in story time someday. But let's dive into this team and why I love it so much. So the stars of this team are without doubt these 4 Pokemon right here that you kind of just seen. Well, actually, depending on how I crop the screen, you might only see 3 of them. But the signature Pokemon in this team are the Lucario, the Tyranitar, the Jirachi, and the Cresselia. The idea behind this is that using setup sweepers with the Lucario and the Tyranitar to set up Dragon Dance Tyranitar here and a Swords Dance Lucario with a crunch on it as well, because Jellicent do not expect that. It's amazing. Using a combination of those two and setting up screens with Cresselia and also having the Lunar Dance means that it's very difficult to actually kind of stop the amount of setup sweeps that these two will be able to get off on the opponent. Very difficult to block 2 of these things, let alone a potential 3 thanks to Lunar Dance. So it's absolutely fantastic in that regard. The Jirachi here is also very, very important because with the trick it disables something in their team. U-turn gives me a really good pivot switch, and then of course I have Stout Rock support and Iron Head just to kind of get those Teraki on. It's also got a Choice Scarf as well, so worst comes to worst I can kind of use that as almost a revenge killer. So these 4 Pokemon are really just the highlight of this. On top of this, we do also have a Rotom Wash, a standard kind of choice spec set that's kind of just there. It's also got Volt Switch, so again, it's a pivot switch. And we do have our handy Gliscor here. We actually have a Flying Gem and Acrobatics. It's that standard Gliscor that I generally just kind of run. It's very, very handy for this team. Again, everything on this team, it's got a personal touch for me. I really do love it for that. It's something I always fall back on. And the team as a whole, it works really well. I've always got a lot of fun with this team. So we're going to dive right on into it. Okay, and we've got a very weird looking team here. Some different faces of Yu that you just generally don't see in OU. We got specifically that Xatu, the Lantern, and the Cobalion there. And then apart from that, we've probably got a standard, especially defensive Heatran of some kind. You got the maybe a late game Sash Mamoswine. And I'm going to guess that's his Choice Scarf Salamander. I'm going to have to be very cautious of that. Especially cautious actually of the Lantern as well, because my Rotom is completely walled by that. I can't do a damn thing to it. So with that in mind, what are we going to want to lead with here? Well, we're probably just going to want to get like a good switch off right off the bat. And he's actually just going to leave with his Mamoswine here. So this works fine because we are definitely faster and we can just kind of go straight for an Iron Head. I can definitely live 1 Earthquake if he does decide to go for it. I've got none to really fear here, so let's just go for an Iron Head. He might just even get the flinch. Actually just goes for the Stout Rock there, so I'm not going to complain about that. It's like, that's actually not that bad. Now, he's probably going to switch to the Heatran or the Cobalion. It's something at this point. I don't think he's going to sack his Mamoswine just yet. It'd be kind of silly because it's a really good switch for him for my Gliscor, having that Ice Shard there. So I'm going to go straight out to my Cresselia here. If he kind of just attacks me ending, I can just set up screens and I should be able to wall him quite nicely. It's actually just going to go straight out into his Cobalion here. Now, I'm not really sure what this thing wants to do. It's probably more, I'm going to guess it's more utility, so it's going to run like a T-Wave set or something, and then kind of just have some standard stab in the form of like Sacred Sword and Iron Head or something like that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight for Reflect here. He's setting up a sub. Uh-oh. That's a bit scary. He probably has SD'd in as well. So we are going to want to break that with a Psychic immediately. Sure enough, he's going for the Sword Stance. Thankfully, we do have Reflect up, so it's not going to be doing pretty much regular damage, whatever the hell he decides to hit us with. So we can just kind of go for another Psychic here. We can try and do as much damage as we can. He's actually just setting up SDs like a madman here. Dear God, and we are not doing a lot of damage to him. This is very much not a great situation to be in, but luckily we have our physically defensive Gliscor. Anything he wants to do on this thing, it's probably going to take him out unless it's a crit. God damn it. Ugh. Oh, Gliscor. The one time I need you. Oh man, okay, we've got problems now because Lucario is in no way fast enough. Tyranitar is going to die immediately and horribly to this thing. Oh god. Okay, well we do still have the Reflector, provided he doesn't get a crit. If we go into our Rotom Wash here, we can get a Volt Switch off. And thanks to the Volt Switch, we should be able to do just almost enough damage to... Oh for God's sake, send up another sub! Send up another sub! Oh no, how do we deal with this? Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, what do we do? Okay, Cobalions just not something you generally have to deal with, no you. It's so rare that you really just see these things. Okay, well I can go out into my Cresselia. 2 Psychics should be enough to kill it. I still do have Reflect, so I am relatively safe. We can kind of just go over here. Ironhead's not going to be able to do enough. He got the... Oh! Oh, this guy is testing my patience. No, don't you frickin' dare. Oh my god, this guy. This is infuriating right now. It honestly god is. I'm very tempted to go to my Jirachi and just kind of go to Ironhead, flinch into death and just try and take him out that way. Oh god, he's gonna kill me with the next one. There's nothing I can really... He's actually gonna go for the sub because he's being really freaking ballsy. No way, I am not letting that happen. Reflect wears off. It doesn't matter. An extreme speed from a Lucario at this point should be enough to take you down, you freaking Paxi Cobalion. Oh god. And actually now I'm incredibly doubting it as well. I actually don't know. I'm just gonna have to go for Rotom here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for a Hydro Pump in case he goes to some... He's got the close combat. He's got the close combat. Well, thanks to the defense drop and E-Speed from Lucario, should be enough to take him out. Thank God we got the crit there because I just didn't want the chance that. Oh god, so we are in a god-awful position right now. We've lost 3 Pokemon trying to deal with this freaking thing. And we do have some speed investment, so we should be alright to deal with this Heat Ran. I've got none I want to switch in there. Close combat, get rid of that Heat Ran, get rid of him immediately. It's probably a bit surprised by Lucario's surprising amount of speed. So we do manage to take that one clean out. We're going to have to be very careful with the rest of our players here. He's now going to the Lantern. I've got nothing that I really want to deal with this thing. He's probably just going to start going for a bunch of Scalds. So I'm going to have to go into my Jirachi. I need to trick this first. And then I need to get a Stout Rock off. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well this guy's just going for Hydro Pump. Oh no. Okay, well we need to get Stout Rock up. I know I'm faster. He's probably just going to go straight for another Hydro Pump. We're going to have to lose our Jirachi right here. We got no option there. We had to do that. It's going to take out the Mammoth. It's going to do a nice amount of damage to the Salamence and Zazatu. So that was really, really crucial that we just did it there. And now we need to be incredibly careful. He's probably going to be in more of a predicting mindset. He could just kind of go for Hydro Pumps all day, every day. Like close combat, he might actually predict the switch to Zato here. I have got Crunch, which works in my favor, so I'm just going to go for an SD. Dear God, he's staying in and he just went for the Hydro Pump. This is a horrible position to be in. Oh no. Well, we've still got Tyranitar, and the nice thing about Tyranitar is that we've got a slight advantage on everything in his team. He's actually going to miss this Hydro Pump here. That works beautifully in our favor. I cannot stress that enough. Let's go for a Crunch. That'll be enough to take out the Lantern. That's one down. Our Stout Rocks are now going to come into play because they are going to chip away on absolutely everything that he switches in. And we might still just, barely just, win this game. It kind of comes down to if this Salamence is actually Choice Scarf. If it's Choice Scarf, it's probably just going to go straight for an Earthquake. And it also comes down to the Stone Edge landing. We do have the speed. We did have the Intimidate there. We should deal just enough damage to take it out. Oh no. Okay, he went for the Toxic. That was really weird on his part, but thankfully Sandstorm's going to kick him. My Lumberry is going to get rid of the Toxic. And now he's still got a Mammoth, so I'm just going to die to Stealth Rocks. And his Zatu is all that he's really got left. And he's actually going to forfeit, and we took the game. That was incredibly close there. Got a bad play right off the start. That Cobalion really did screw me over at the start, dear God. But we did manage to just kind of turn that around just in the end because we have the Dragon Dance Tyranitar. Once again, this thing just catches people off guard, and I love it for that. Let's move on to the next game. You know, some teams just kind of scream their intention right in your face, and this is Baton Pass. Oh God, it's pretty easy to tell that this is just really a Baton Pass team. Like, dear God, you could not be more obvious in that. I'm going to guess he's probably going to leave with the Ninja, so I'm going to get my Sand up so I actually break his initial Sash. They generally do run that. We can get off a Dragon Dance right off the bat. We can just kind of go for a Fire Punch from there, and we can kind of take him out. We are going to be racking up a significant amount of speed. Let's just kind of see what he wants to do. Thanks to our Dragon Dance, we should be in a very good position to take out several things in this team. He's actually going to go for this Substitute instead, which is kind of weird. I don't see them actually Baton Passing that all that much, so we're gonna have to be a bit cautious of that. So let us go straight for the Fire Punch. Now he could just be in the right mind where he can just kind of get a Sword Stance off now and kind of just keep back, Substitute stalling from there. It's actually just going to go straight for the Toxic, which is really freaking weird on a Ninjask. I do not know what's going on there. This time I'm going to go for a Stone Edge. I'm going to just kind of bank him switch, and he knows I have the Fire Punch. He's actually just going to go for another Substitute. He's really just trying to rack up as much speed as he possibly can, I guess, to Baton Pass. But that's not too much of a problem, because unless he switches to the Heat Round, like, I can kind of just deal with it no matter what it is with the speed. I'm going to guess that he's probably not going to go for that just straight off the bat. It would be kind of weird if he did. And I do actually have enough attack investment at this point that I can actually just kind of safely go for a Crunch, and with confidence know that that's going to be enough to break the sub. He's still racking up as much speed as he just kind of wants, really. And now he kind of knows I have Stone Edge and Crunch. So, well, Crunch is going to do a really good damage on pretty much everything. I'm going to just... Sorry, Crunch will do good damage. The Stone Edge only on the Heat Round, so I'm just going to keep going for the Crunches here. He's actually going to Baton Pass out this turn. If he goes the Heat Round, then thankfully that actually ends the Baton Pass, so I don't need to worry about it too much. He's going to go straight out to the Mew, which is a near suicidal play on his part. This does look quite bad from this angle, by the way, the fact that he still have kind of Mew there. And the fact that it really does look like it's just going to kind of go for an Aura Sphere and try and take the clean out. I do have Jirachi, which is going to have just enough bulk to actually kind of take it, and a U-turn to that thing should be enough just to finish it. He's actually going to go straight for another Baton Pass, so this guy really wants to hold on to his speed investment. Well, thankfully we did actually kind of go for a pivot switch here, because we still can get off the U-turn. I doubt it's going to be a Scarf Heatran of some kind. I mean, that's just weird. So we are going to be okay in this scenario. He's actually going out to his Espeon now, and I have no idea what this guy's going to want to do next. So I'm just going to go straight for the U-turn. He's actually going for the Calm Mind next. He's really trying to set up at this point. This is kind of the stage I really would appreciate a kind of Roar user on this team. It's something that I am genuinely quite lacking. Well, thankfully, because it's an Espeon, seems to be the Baton Pass variety. It's got Calm Mind, it's got Baton Pass. I'm going to guess there's Hidden Power, Fire, and a Psychic on top of that, which means that if I switch in my Tyranitar, I can probably go for another Dragon Dance. I can get back to the scenario I was in before, and I can potentially deal as much damage as I can really just kind of get off. A Trick Room user actually in this team, I think that would be really nice, but that's a thought for a revision at some other point. I am straying from my ideas here. So, what are we going to want? We do have our Lucario, and our Lucario does have Extreme Speed, which can rack up a significant amount of damage on whatever the hell wants to switch in. So, you know, I'm actually just going to kind of go for this now. I'm going to go for a Sword Stance in the face. I'm going to guess that he's going to want to Baton Pass on this turn. He could just potentially go for the Psychic, do a significant amount of damage to me. I think I should be able to just live it, unless I'm significantly underestimating this Espeon right now. I do think he's really just going to go for the Baton Pass right now. Oh, by the way, this would be an amazing idea. What if, at the end of all this Baton Pass, he switched into his Wobbuffet, and that just used, like, I don't know, Psychic to Oblivion? That would be insane, and I actually really love to see that. I'm actually just going to go straight out to his Celebi now. You see, this does put us in a bit of an awkward spot, because Celebi, unless it's another Baton Pass variety, Celebi get Baton Pass. Does Celebi get Baton Pass? I cannot even remember. Well, I'm going to go for the Crunch. Let's see. He's actually just going to go straight for another Calm Mind. He's got no defense investments. We've got a +2 Lucario. That is going to take him out. That is going to end his chain horribly. And now he's got several crippled Pokemon. Sure enough, he's actually just going to forfeit the match. That's the thing with Baton Pass. It's a very risky game that you're actually playing. As soon as your chain just breaks like that, you are kind of screwed. Like, you honest to God are. Like, if you kind of look at his Ninjask, near dead. His Mew, near dead. Espeon, badly injured. The only viable things he's got in good health right now is Wobbuffet and Heatran. So it really does fall apart with Baton Pass teams when that happens. This is why I just genuinely don't run them. Only do a slight Baton Pass, because then it's a lot safer. And let's have one more game. And dear God, this is a weird looking team, isn't it? Look at that Kyurem Black with the Rotom Wash and Heatran. And in a probably defensive Landorus of some kind. It's some sort of defensive Zatu. They're always utility, it's all they run. There's actually a Weavile. Haven't seen a Weavile, that's what I was going for. Haven't seen one of them in years. Seriously. I've never seen them in so long. But we do have Extreme Speed on our Lucario here, so that should be able to deal with it quite nicely. The best thing for me to lead with here is probably just my Jirachi, because I want to see what he actually wants to do. I'm actually just going to lead straight with the Weavile, so I can honestly just kind of go for a U-turn here and get off as much damage as I can. If he attacks me with something, then I can honestly just kind of go out to my Lucario. Although, oh, he could... Okay, so is he going to go for the fighting type move or the dark type move? That's the question here. Because he can kind of go for both. If he goes for the fighting type move, Lucario's a bit screwed, to be honest. Well, let's just risk this. I don't think he's going to go for a fighting type move. Yeah, it's going to be a bit weird. This actually isn't a justified Lucario, by the way. It's kind of sad, I know. I do run Steadfast in case I ever get in some awkward Ambipom situations. Let's just go for E-Speed. Let's take you out. You're not getting your low kick or anything like that off. Weavile dealt with. Massive threat to my Gliscor. Gone. So that is fantastic. It's really rare that you do see them. Honestly, God, it is. And he's actually probably going to make one of the best possible plays that he can. He's going to go into his Lunar Dance Tyranitar. This move he's probably going to set up Stealth Rock. It's what I kind of see him doing. So we are going to go out into our Rotom Wash. We're not really going to stay around. He's actually just going to go straight for the EQ. Now the Hydro Pump is incredibly obvious at this point. The best thing on his team to take that is his own Rotom Wash. I could be incredibly ballsy here and actually just go for the Volt Switch. If he does stay in and get his Stealth Rocks up, I suppose that's fine. It's not too much hassle to me. So I'm going to just risk it. I can make it a very awkward kind of switch back out to my Gliscor if needs be. I'm not too concerned about this though. He's actually just going to go straight out to his Kyurem. So Volt Switch is going to deal a little chunklet of damage. I'm not going to complain about that. And now we've got this thing in our face. And most of these things these days are Choice Scarf. So I'm going to go straight out to my Jirachi, which is also Choice Scarf. An Iron Head on this thing might just be enough to take it out. We are in Damage Nature Jirachi. We do have Stab on the Iron Head. We should be able to deal just enough. Oh god, okay, it's a bit of a monster. Fusion Bolt's going to take away, and it's actually a Life Orb variant, which is weird, to say the least. Okay, so I'm going to predict him that he's either going to go for a second Fusion Bolt, or he's not going to want to stay in. So I could be, I can really make the ballsy move this turn and kind of just go straight onto my Gliscor here. And you know what, I think that's what I'm going to do. I really don't predict him sticking around. He's actually, sure enough, he's just going to go straight to the Heron, which tragically does have the balloon, which means I'm going to have to change what my original plan was here. And that's a bit sad. So I'm going to go straight out into my Rotom Wash. Whatever he kind of does to me, I should be alright. Hidden Power Ice, of course. He's going to go for that, so this is clearly a more offensive variety of Heatran. This time, I'm going to go straight for the Hydro Pump, because I went for Volt Switch last time on his Landorus, so he could kind of predict that again. So I'm not going to be ballsy twice. I'm going to make a much safer play this time. Just go for the Hydro Pump. He might over-predict, and that could work in my favor, because we can kind of deal with this thing that way. I've got none on my team that really takes the Heatran that well. Well, bar Cresselia, I suppose, but I probably should have looked into that at some point. Actually, no, sentimental value in the team. Despite its flaws, I must stick with it. Oh god. Yeah, sure enough, he's actually just over-predicting now. He's expecting the Voltage to just go straight for the Hydro Pump. He got very lucky there. That Hydro Pump missed. I should have killed that thing. I'm just going to go straight for another Hydro Pump. I'm just going to keep going for it. He's going to go for a Stone Edge this time. Come on, Rotom. Come on. Oh god, that's tragic. I missed two, and he's probably not going to outstay his welcome this time. Really kind of chancing it with the Stone Edge itself. You see how I missed two Hydro Pumps in a row, which is really, really unfortunate. I would have loved to get some damage off on that Landorus, because it blocks both my Tyranitar and my Lucario. And really, this is the only specially based thing that I've got on my team, so I need to get rid of this thing as fast as I can. So let us just switch out here as soon as he decides on his course. I'm actually just going to keep firing off the Stone Edges. That's fine. I've got a Gliscor for a reason. That's fine with me. And I think what I'm going to do this turn is I know that he's going to go for this Heatran because he's got the balloon. Although he wouldn't really be expecting kind of an Earthquake on a Landorus, because that's just weird. I think the best course of action for me right now is just to switch out again, because he's got so many things that actually resist this Earthquake right now that, yeah, he's probably just not going to do it. He could just kind of stay in with his Landorus and do whatever the hell he wants, but I am just going to switch out there. I'm going to go into my Cresselia here. He's actually going to go into his Xatu here, so he's potentially setting up his own screen, so this is going to be a very risky trade-off. Well, Reflect is probably more important for the sake of the Kyurem right now. He's actually going to go over a U-turn to get a bit of utility off. Hopefully he goes out to someone who's more physically orientated things, and not the specially oriented, because I just went for Reflect. I was actually just trying to give it a utility here, and he's got to really think what he wants to do true here. Also, Cresselia took that quite well. Consider it super effective. I know it's from his Xatu, but still, quite well. Let's see what he wants to do. This is going to be very close. Very important when he decides now. It's going to really just kind of decide the game almost. I've already taken out his Weavile kind of nice and clean, but more things in my team have taken a fair bit of chip damage. Okay, he's gonna go straight out to his Landorus. So this thing can't hurt me that much. So I am kind of okay to do whatever the hell I want. He is into the Landorus, so what do I want to do? I honestly just want to get as much damage off on this thing as I can. He can go for a Stone Edge. That's going to do absolutely nothing to me. Let us go for a Psychic. Now, predicting the Psychic on his part, I am now going to go for the Light Screen because I don't think that he's going to stay within a Stone Edge because he's fighting a losing battle right now. So let's get up that Light Screen so we have dual screens, and that puts us in a very nice position to switch to one of our sweepers, to which we can then hopefully dominate his team. Sure enough, he's going to go back out to the Xatu here. We have dual screens up now though, so we are in a very nice spot. Now then, what he's going to want to do next, he's going to go for another safe U-turn, just try and get as much chip damage as he can off on this Cresselia, because it is a problem for him. He could try and set up his own screens, maybe, but I don't really expect him to do that. So with that in mind, we still got the Landorus to deal with, so our Lucario here is just not a great option right now. That's something that I really do have to consider. So honestly, the best play that I could probably do is I'm going to switch back out to my Rotom. I'm going to kind of scout what he wants to do. He's actually just going to go for the Heat Wave there, so he must have been predicting the Lucario there, which is a bit weird. The Volt Switch is incredibly obvious right now, but he knows I just went straight for the Hydro Pump before, so I'm not really sure what he's going to want to do here. So, what we're going to do here is, because we need a bit of utility, we need to play around it, I'm going to go for the Trick. And sure enough, he's actually not going to get the Choice Specs. I get the Leftover. He's now going for another U-turn. Unfortunately, gets a crit, even though I've got both screens up. Leftovers Recovery now playing in, and we have the Pain Split here. So if we are faster, sure enough, we are going to be able to recover a nice amount of health. This Hydro Pump does a pitiful amount of damage to us. So that is fantastic right there. We're going to go for a Volt Switch right now. He could potentially just switch straight out to the Landorus, but again, that's a very ballsy play on his part, just to switch in on a Rotom with that. I mean, honest to God, it is. And so, what is he going to want to do next? He could just go for straight for another Hydro Pump. He could... Actually, I'm not... No. Okay, go to Cresselia. This is the safest play that I can kind of do right now, because I don't know what he wants to do. Actually, just go straight for the T-Wave, so I'm not going to complain about that. That's fine with me. I can deal with that. It's not a problem, really. So, we've kind of learned a fair bit of his moveset. The fact that he has T-Wave suggests to me that he may not actually have Volt Switch, because it looks like a more defensive Rotom that he's possibly run, the fact that he has that, and he does have the Leftovers as well. Definitely not the more offensive variety. So I've still got both my screens up, so I can go safely back into my own Rotom. I was kind of just going for the switch there just to anticipate what he's going to want to do. It's probably not going to go for two T-Waves straight in a row. That's a bit weird, and it looks silly also if you fell. That's just going to go straight for his own Pain Split, so that really just doesn't affect me. So that's fantastic right there. We're still in a very awkward and tight spot right now though, because we still have this Rotom, and it's still got T-Wave, and it wants to get off in this Rotom. Thankfully in 6th gen, by the way, electric Pokemon can't get paralyzed anymore. That's fantastic news, I cannot wait for that. But this does put us in a bit of a tight spot. I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump here, try and get off as much damage as I can, because we're both really in an awkward spot right now. He can't do much to me, I can't do much to him. He clearly doesn't have the Toxic on this thing as he has the T-Wave. That would be ridiculously silly. Let's go for that Hydro Pump. He's probably just going for... Oh, okay, he's going for the Volt Switch, so he does have it. That's a very weird moveset on that Rotom, if I do say so. Now, the Stone Edge didn't do enough damage to kill me last time, so I can go straight for another Hydro Pump. I've got none to really fear. I've got to be conscious that my screens are actually wearing out, and he's just going to go straight for the U-turn here, so he's probably going to switch right out into his Rotom. Or, okay, he's going to go straight for the Xatu, and we're going to deal an awful lot of damage to that. Now then, he could just go straight for a potential another U-turn here. I could just go for another Hydro Pump trying to get the Landorus. I don't think he's going to risk it at this point though. I think the safest play for him would be to go in something like his Heatran, or maybe even his own Rotom again, kind of predicting the Hydro Pump. At the same time, if I'm predicting him to switch, then I should probably go for the Pain Split, because that is the best course of action for me. But the Xatu hasn't really revealed its moveset, has it? It could actually be running something else. It could potentially have a Psychic, and we have lost our screens right now. So I am going to go out into my Cresselia. If he goes for the U-turn, I can kind of scout that. Okay, alright, fine, you get a little chunk of damage on me. That is okay. I didn't really want to risk that. I know that I could have got a really good Volt Switch or something off there, really get some momentum going. I just didn't want to risk that though. It would have been too much damage to the Rotom. And plus, he hasn't got his entry hazards even up yet. I don't know what's even running the entry hazards on his team right now. Dear God. Okay, so we know this thing didn't deal enough damage the last time to actually take me clean out. And we are paralyzed right now, so we have to be very conscious of that. He could just go straight for the Ice type move, even predicting the switch to Gliscor. I'm just going to go straight for a Psychic here. He's actually just going to go straight for the Fusion Ball. Oh, actually take that a lot nicer than I remember. I must have been getting my moves wrong. Well, okay, so the Life Orb's going to kill him anyway, so what we can actually do on this turn is, if we actually live a hit, we can just kind of go straight for the Lunar Dance. We don't really have much fear, and we can get our Rotom back up to a nice amount of health once again. He's actually just going to go straight for the Ice Beam. He does get stabbed tragically on that one, but we do have Lunar Dance here. Cresselia is going to faint, and our Rotom is going to be brought up beautifully back into pristine condition. That's going to be really good, because it's a major threat to pretty much everything on that's left on his team right now. So that's really good. We've got our Rotom Wash once again on our side. Now then, ideal thing for him to do at this point is a Pain Split, because I've got so much health in this Rotom, and it would, honest to God, do a lot of damage to me. So I'm going to scroll back up. I know this is a bit technical right now, because I really need to see how much I did with my Volt Switch. Okay, so I did 28%. So I won't take it out after the Pain Split. I know that much. And I know that he's going to go for the Pain Split, so I'm honestly going to go to my Jirachi right now, because he can't get that much health back from it. So when he goes for this, as you can see there, he didn't really get much benefit from it. And I've still got my Choice Scarf in this thing as well. So that puts us in a very nice spot. Now, what's he going to want to do next? He doesn't know that this thing has the Choice Scarf just yet. And I do want to keep a bit of momentum on this thing, because we do have the Zato. I can probably take it out with a surprise kill kind of later. I can possibly trick the... Well, no, not the Rotom. Sorry, what was I talking about? I can trick something later. So I need to be very conscious of that. And again, with Stealth Rocks, he does still have the Zato, so I'm very concerned about that. I don't want to get Stealth Rocks on my side of the field. It's going to be disastrous at this point in the game. So I'm honestly just going to go straight for the U-turn. Sure enough, he's actually staying in, which kind of signals to me that he's either going for the Volt Switch or the T-Wave. I don't really expect the Hydro Pump, because he should be able to take me clean out with something else. So I'm going to make a very ballsy play, and oh no, it does not pay off, and we tragically lose the Gliscor there. So that puts us in a worse position than we were, dear God. So okay, so we still have our Tyranitar, but he's still got that ladder. Oh God, we're in a really tight spot right now. Well, okay, so I know based on this guy's kind of bulk that Lucario with a close combat should be enough to kind of take him out. But at the same time, I don't want to chance that. Oh God, this is incredibly dangerous. Okay, well, he's on 29%, so maybe we'll get maximum damage this time. Maybe a Volt Switch will be enough to take him out. Oh yeah. Okay, just not enough. This signals to me that he's going straight for the Pain Split. Let's go into our Jirachi again and minimize that recovery that he's actually going to get. That is fine with us. So now, he went for the Hydro Pump last time. He could go for a second Pain Split, predicting that will go into the Rotom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of try and shut down this Rotom right here, and I'm going to go for a Trick. Now, this is a bit difficult to do, because a Rotom with a Choice Scarf is still a significant problem. I need to get rid of that leftovers, because running that whole Pain Split set, I clearly wasn't getting anywhere. I know I lost my Jirachi there, but I'm going to have momentum just in a second when I make my next switch. If he goes straight to the Landorus, it means that whatever I switch in next is not going to have to worry about the Intimidate. So what I'm going to need to do next is, now we've given that thing the Choice Scarf, we've significantly reduced its abilities. I think what I'm going to have to do is go back out to my Rotom Wash and try and get a Hydro Pump just off on something, because we need to get as much damage as we can right now. He's going to go and lead with his Landorus. So that's his plan of action, so at least we know that. So that is something. Now this thing has leftovers, but we can't switch in anything else. And he could kind of acknowledge that he's kind of got this upper hand position on me right now, that I can't switch into any of my other two things, and just kind of go to something to deal specifically with the Rotom right now. His Landorus is really not a great thing to do it, so we could just kind of save it for those two Pokemon. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go for the ballsy Volt Switch. He's going for the U-turn, so this actually works really, really well, because that means we're going to do a significant amount of damage to whatever switches in. We still haven't seen the Heat Ran. I mean, it's possibly Choice Scarf, possibly got a Balloon. I really don't know at this stage. But this is actually pretty good for us. He's actually going straight into the Rotom, and we do manage to now take that clean out, which is pretty fantastic, if I do say so. So I'm going to switch straight in, I think, to my Lucario first. The reason being for that is if his Landorus has Toxic, I can kind of bait that almost. Or actually kind of just almost predict him not to go for that. Maybe he'll make an obvious play here. I'm going to have to switch out to my Rotom. He kind of suddenly acknowledges that at this point. So we're going to go straight out to this guy, and then we're going to switch it up to our Rotom once again. The Landorus is definitely the best play on his part right now. If he switches into Heat Round first, then that's fine. I should be faster than it. I do have some speed investment. I believe that is faster than standard Heat Round. The main problem with this guy right now is I need to get something that doesn't have the Intimidate. I need to get like a Sword Stance off before it comes in, because an Earthquake's just going to destroy me. So I have to go to my Rotom right now. I've got no choice. And that's actually worked pretty well, because again, because we don't have that choice scarf right now, we do have leftovers go. We can switch up our moves, which is really handy right now, because we can kind of just go straight for the Hydro Pump here. So that's gonna hopefully take out the Xatu. It's tragically going to miss there. That's a bit unfortunate. We can just kind of go for another Hydro Pump though, and we should hopefully get this time. I can't imagine the Xatu being faster than this. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Let's just go straight for another Hydro Pump. Sure enough, we're going to take that clean out. And we're getting a nice amount of leftovers recovery off right now. That's really good. That's going to hopefully just bolster our Rotom. Really going to keep it alive as long as we can. He has to go back into his Landorus net right now. I'm really kind of wondering why he's saving his Heat Round so long. It does seem that he has some sort of final trick up his sleeve, if you will. Let us go straight for that Hydro Pump. Stone Edge dealing a significant amount of damage. We missed the Hydro Pump. Okay. So long as we don't miss the second one, we are fine. Thank God for that. Okay, so we've dealt with the Landorus. We should be able to clean up nice and easy with the Lucario. Sure enough, he does actually have the balloon here, so that answers that question. I'm going to go for a Pain Split here. If I am by chance faster, that's going to put me in a nice position. I don't think this Heat Round should be able to do much to me. Tragically, a Flamethrower is actually going to take the clean out. Bit sad. What are you going to do? And right now, I kind of need to anticipate what I want to do. I could just go straight out for the close combat, but part of me feels like I'm going to risk this almost with a speed tie. Really does feel like part of me is going to say that. I'm going to chance it though. We could just win the game right here. I could just be overthinking it a bit. Let's go for that close combat. Hopefully we're faster. We are indeed faster. That is going to clean up the match. GG, because that was a really intense game. There was a lot of mind games going on there. That was a really good match. So GG, definitely. That was a good game. Oh, I had a lot of fun there. Oh, God. I really do enjoy this team. Seriously, I do. Lucario kind of just shining through there. Tyranitar, 2 games past. Really do have a lot of fun with this team. Just every time. Means a lot to me. And so, that's going to be it for this commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a look at my signature team, pretty much. Kind of just leaving it open and exposed. You can kind of copy it if you want. I don't mind too much. But this is my signature team, so it just means a lot to me. You can try it out if you want. It's a lot of fun. It does have an awful lot of faults in it. Like, dear God, this thing does not deal nicely with Terrakions, for example, if you've lost a Cresselia. Pretty much if you lost anything in this team, you're in for a bad time. You really are. It's got a lot of problems with it, but I still do love it. I really, genuinely do. And so, that's going to be it for this week's commentary. Now, something I said on Facebook that I will be talking about. We got to talk about what's happening in this series ever so quickly before I disappear. X and Y is out in 2 weeks. It's exciting and it's a fantastic time. I cannot wait to play it. Unfortunately, that means we're going to be seeing the dawn of 6th gen. And that means 5th gen competitive is almost going to be at an end. So, because we're going to be introduced to all these new movesets, a new meta game is on the horizon. OU is not going to be a thing in like 2 weeks. Which is really sad because I kind of just almost got into the swing of this series. Like, it's really been kind of short-lived. It really does feel like that, because I only kind of started it when I got back in August. And now that X and Y is just so close, it's just like, it feels like it's going to end so abruptly. So I'm going to confirm this right here. When 6th gen comes, I am going to be trying to be moving on to that. I'm not going to be really kind of lingering around 5th gen competitive. I am really going to be looking onto that on my 3DS, and I have no way of recording that whatsoever, which sadly means this series is going to be on hiatus for a while. Like, until Showdown tries to update with the 6th gen Pokemon, there's just nothing I can really do about that. I will see if I can invest in some way, maybe, I don't know, maybe even try and find a ROM hack version or something that I can kind of link saves between my 3DS, something like that, just try and get a couple of replays. I highly doubt it happening though. I don't have a capture card or anything like that, so it is probably going to be the end of Showdown Sunday for a fairly long time until all these sites are kind of updated. So before we see off Showdown Sunday, here's my idea. With everything so disrupted as it is because of Call Out, because I'm kind of just constantly disappearing all the time, and TF2 just all over the place right now, starting this Sunday, I am going to be dedicating an episode, I'm going to be doing a Pokemon commentary every day. Now, it's not going to necessarily be entirely new teams. I'm going to be kind of using some of my old favorites. Definitely going to be using this team again at some point. Going to be using that really OU team that I used the other day, for example. I'm going to be kind of going through all the backlog of teams I've got, kind of just it's really just sending off 5th gen, really. It's like with all the teams I've had fun with. I'm going to also try out an experimental Sun team I've had an idea for. I really want to do a full-blown Trick Room team that's not even disguised as Trick Room or as Rain or anything. Really excited for ideas like that. And so yeah, this is going to be my send-off to 5th gen, so keep an eye out for that. It should be best part of 6 commentaries, so I'll be trying to get up Sunday through Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, don't bother looking for me on the channel. I'm playing X and Y. I'm going to be marathon that. Probably going to have 8 badges by the end of the day or something. Because, dear God, I'm so excited for this game. I cannot wait to start delving in the competitive side of things. Honest to God, I can't. I really want to see how Mega Evolutions kind of turn out now. It's a really exciting time for Pokemon. But sadly, yes, Showdown Sunday. We've only got a week left of this, guys. We'll start on Sunday anyway. It's only going to be in the final days of this for a long time. And it also does mean that it's going to be a slot open up on the channel, so I am going to be looking for other ideas for a new series. I got a couple of them, so you will be seeing something different to kind of replace the Sunday slot, or just kind of this casual slot that I love doing. So that's an important notice for you guys, just in case you kind of wonder, like, where'd the Showdown Sunday go, you noob? It's just this is the notice for that, guys. Okay, I told you. Just so people don't really call me out for it, I'm just trying to let you guys know what's happening. So look forward to that, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.